First of all, let me tell you something. I am a lazy person, but at the same time I want to learn a lot of things, starting from different languages ending with leather crafting. But I always have to force myself a bit to do something. So there are a lot of YouTube videos where people show you how they are preparing for exams or for school or university and so on. And when I watch them, it motivates me and I also want to do something similar. Now, I don't have a fancy equipment. I don't have an iPad or MacBook or any of Apple products. Do I want them? Sure, why not? But I can't afford them and right now I have other priorities. What I have is Kindle Fire tablet to be more specific. I bought it a few years ago. Now, Kindle is very good for reading, but taking notes not so much. I tried and it didn't work out the way I wanted. Also, it is quite slow sometimes and it gets on my nerves. So basically what I have is my laptop, which isn't a MacBook. Let's talk about this notebook. It probably cost $100 or less, but for me it is a lot, especially in my currency. But I bought this laptop because I want to learn 3D modeling, video editing, graphic design and so on. And my previous notebook, which I bought in 2011 and still till this day works perfectly, wasn't capable of handling heavy programs. If you probably noticed already, I have a second monitor here. Now, I didn't buy this, we had this monitor for years, but nobody was using it, so I thought, why don't I put it in my room and use it as a second monitor? And this is what connects them, HDMI cable, and probably it costs less than $10. I also have this little basket, which probably costs $1 or $2. I have two of these, the other one is black. I have several highlighters, which I discovered when I was going through my drawers, and I'm still trying to remember when was this bought. And of course, these notepads. Actually, several of them. The thing is that whenever I want to learn something new, at first I'm quite excited about it, and I start with a great enthusiasm. But I get bored easily. I can last maximum a week, and then I'm trying to force myself to continue. So it is very important to import fun part in the learning process, and I thought, why not try and make my notes a bit more colorful, like it is shown on YouTube videos. Maybe it can make me more productive. For example, let's take this notepad. Grammar is written here, and even though I'm able to have conversation in English, I still think that I don't know grammar that well. So I wrote down a few things that I thought was important and then decided to make it more noticeable. I like the way it looks, but here's the thing, it took me a lot of time. Instead of learning the things I wrote down, I was more focused on making them colorful and pretty. Here's another notepad, where I've written English phrases, which are quite useful, and I just pointed out the phrases and made them bold, but it also took time. I would have written down much more if my focus hadn't been making these phrases popping up. By the way, did you know that take off has 8 meanings? So basically, I use my computer and programs in it to take notes. Now, you don't need to have a fancy computer for it. Any laptop or PC can do this. The program I'm using for taking notes is Notion. It is free now and you can download it and have it in any devices you want. If you don't like Notion, you also can use OneNote. Another app I'm using is PowerToys. I'm gonna link it down below. It's free as well, by the way. I don't know why it lost its icon, but if you open it, this is how it looks. Now it has a lot of options, but what I like the most is fancy zones. First, I'm going to show you what it does and then how can you adjust it. When I'm taking notes, I want Notion to be at one side and the file I'm taking notes from another. Of course, I can use second monitor, but not everyone can afford it. So to place them side by side, you have to open both files and then press Shift. Select first file, drag it and choose where you want to put it, like this. Shift select second file and put it next to it. Now I can take notes. When I'm done with it, I can export them as a PDF file. For example, let's choose this one, Marketing 2016, and I'm using a relational database here and I'll link it down below as well. And go to these 3 dots and choose Export. Then select PDF and you can include subpages as well. But I don't have any subpage now and click Export. It will ask you where to save it and done. Let's open to see how it looks. If you have a printer, you can print it as well. Now let's try Mythology 101 because I have a lot of things here. And this time, let's try including subpages. But when I click it, it says that you have to upgrade in order to use this plan. And it will cost you $4 in a month. And I can do it right now without paying anything because I earned already some credits. If you go to earn credit, you see there are several things that can earn you money for Notion and then you can upgrade it. I have $18 now, and at the top page it says that this $18 is equivalent to 3 months of the Personal Pro plan. But thing is, I also don't have subpages here, so if you just export it the way it is, it will do perfectly. So how the zones work? Click Fancy Zones and then launch Zones Editor. Here you can also adjust a lot of things. You might have noticed I have chosen 2 columns. You can increase it as much as you want or decrease it, and also change space around zones. You can make custom zones as well. As you can see, you really don't need fancy equipment for taking notes. You can just buy notepads, pens, pencils, and highlighter if you are the person who likes writing down notes and make them to look attractive, or you also can use these group apps that cost you nothing and take notes on your computer. Thank you for watching and see you soon.